Hello, hello. What's going on? This is Cozy San. Okay, so what I wanted to do in this particular video is a little bit of an instructional video. Gonna make this as quick, short, and sweet as possible. So basically, I'm a investor. I guess you should. I guess you should say that you can say that I'm a business strategist. Basically, take different trends and different strategies and extract it from the big names and seeing how we can help our small and medium businesses um, be able to not really only compete, but be able to kind of strengthen themselves and be able to be competitive with um, the market that the big names tend to overlook. Okay. So one way that I do that is through 10Ks, looking up the SEC information. As you can see right here, I already have one example loaded up. I found this to be Roland Frazier's the person that who actually gave this idea about it. But that's just this RXO is not something that's owned that he alone just came up with the idea. This is something that all sophisticated investors do. They want to go and get the actual data from the SEC because all public companies have to file a series of documents with the SEC. One of which is the 10-K form, and this simply is just a annual report. That's basically all it is, and it's no different from when you go to certain websites, and let's say you're looking up a company and there's a tab, or if you look on the site map and it says investors or investor disclosure, this is the same thing. It's always great to go on there because like I said, by law they have to file with the SEC, and this allows people like you and me who want to invest in companies who are public and who are currently trade on any stock exchange. Uh, we're able to actually go inside and find out how the business is performing. And it's pretty cool because it also discloses a lot of things like the strategy. It has the balance sheet, a lot of things that you would expect from an annual report, right? So just briefly, you're just gonna walk with me, and we're gonna go through on how to basically read these files here, okay? So it's gonna look a little bit intimidating if this is your first time. As you can see here, I already kind of type this in. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back here. Okay, so you're gonna go to sec.gov/Edgar/search. You can also search this, and you'll find it the same way. Or Edgar SEC. If you put Edgar on there, you should be fine. Either go to search filing or search assist. If you okay, this yeah okay yeah, you can go to search filing or search assist. Okay, what I go where we go from here is that we go to full text search. Okay. Then we're so the example that we're looking up is RXO. So I'm gonna explain a little bit before we go further in. So right now um I'm working on my first strategic report. Like I said before, I'm an investor. Uh, I'm a market strategist, and so what I'm doing is I am looking for deals where um, logistics. My primary deal that I'm looking for right now would be in the garden nursery space, and garden nursery and landscape supply. With that, I have some um, experience dealing with distribution and things like that. So that's where I kind of that's where I thrive. I thrive under that. I love the supply chain business. I love everything. So because you could add supply chain to almost every industry, and I just kind of fell in love with the supply chain and found myself just moving up in it and learning more about it and finding how to make it finding out how to optimize it and uh, cutting costs and so on and so forth. So, what I plan on doing here, I'm going to explain a little bit more in my um, my report on how to go through it. But I wanted to create this video so it kind of adds a extra layer of visual learning. Okay, so we're gonna go back here with our SEC.gov. So this is an actual legal document, as I stated before. We're gonna search it. So it's already searched, right? So we're gonna scroll down. So what we're looking for is the 10-K. So this looks a little bit intimidating when you don't know what you're looking for. But we're gonna go here where it says form, okay? And we're looking for the 10K annual report. You see it right here? Boom. Gonna click on that, and we're looking for filed. So we want to look here, make sure we're looking at the it looks like they file every February, right? So we want to look at for the one for this year. So I already clicked it, 10K annual report, and we're gonna go to open documents. If you do open filing, it's gonna send you some place you don't want to be. Okay, so this is the actual United States Securities and Exchange Commission 10K form. Okay, form 10K. So it shows a little bit about the company, where they're incorporated. Uh, that's cool, but that's not something that we want to pay attention to right now. What we really want to do is scroll down, and I want to go here to the table of contents. Okay, so for this particular example, we are just going to be looking at the part one and part two. So part one, of course, we want to know the business, the risk factors. Um, this is more or less important, and that all depends on what it says. Cybersecurity, that's kind of like where we are right there. Maybe properties, but it's not really that important. Okay, the most important thing here is, or the next important thing, I should say, is part two, the market for registrants, common equity related stockholder matters, and issuer purchases of equity securities, management discussions and analysis. So this is good because it shows like the discussions of their financial conditions and the quantitative and qualitative disclosures. So basically, majority of part two, because for one, I want to extract what this business is and make sure that I understand the business model throughout. Okay, so it gives us a little background of RXO and how they were formed. To sum it all up, RXO is basically a spinoff of um, of the parent company of XPO, which is Brad Jacobs, the company that he created. So RXO is the brokerage business arm of that company. So they were also involved in an acquisition of Coyote, which they purchased from UPS. Um, it if in this other section it explains a little bit about that there. And this is why this thing is so golden, because it shows different things like the, the drivers, why, you know, their value basis, the drivers of the value creation, what they do value. Um, Also goes into their strategy. So I take these types of information and I see what I can do to apply it to um, uh, a business in my area who I'm doing a possibly doing a consultant for equity in. Okay. And if you run like these businesses, this this information is golden, especially if you want to kind of set yourself apart from everyone else. Goes into the competition regulations and also regulations affecting motor carriers. So this thing is very truthful, because the reason why a lot of this information is on here is because they have to disclose to, okay, so like if I have a company and I want someone to invest in their company, like I'm not just gonna tell you everything that's going good with my business, because I mean, frankly, that's gonna be a red flag. You're gonna look at me like, no, there's no business in the world that's just 100% has no issues, right? It's more or less like it could be, like a red flag. With this one, it it forces me to be um it forces me to be transparent with what you really want to do with these annual reports, because you want them to know, like, hey, this is a great company, but these are some factors that could possibly uh, threaten our business. Okay. Goes into who is the leadership. Okay, and that's kind of like what kind of sums this portion up. It's very, very black and white when it comes to the threats of it, as you can see in this section. Um, Risk, okay, third party. So I'm going to go further down. You could read this on your own too. So I also wanted to look at the properties too. So this talk, like I said, it's not really important, but it's interesting because it talks about where their facilities are and how much that they have. There's something to look into. So now with this part two, this is strictly the financial side of things. This talks about, gives you the graphs. It gives you the where they sit when it comes to comparison with the Dow Jones Transportation Average and S&P Small Cap 600. It also goes under the management discussion. It gives disclosures on the different auditing companies that have helped them compile this data and verified it as factual. Uh, it's like you see here with the results of the operations, revenue, operating, and income, which I hope if you are investing and you're investing in the stock market, you are like reading this and taking heed to what's being said, and capital expedition. So it is great. It shows almost everything. Um, like I say here, it also shows the depth in the financing arrangement. So it's not only telling you like, hey, we are a little bit kind of behind with this particular debt, or we have to credit it this, and we have a 1 year or 10 years. They're actually giving the full blown ex, ex, explanation as to the investments that they're making, the acquisitions that they're making, and it's a really really thorough document. Cash flow activity. Kind of rambling here, but just to sum it all up, you know, it things like that is like very invaluable when it comes to not only looking at stuff and you want to invest in the stock market. You have to definitely look at a 10K, but it's very invaluable to extract this type of data and um, shave it down to its most fundamental way of understanding and utilizing that. So, for example, let's say if RXO has a way of working with AI to help streamline a certain aspect of their workforce. Now, this is a $1 billion company, so they're able to invest huge into the initiative of AI. But you know, me and you, who may be uh, mom and pop owner operators, or if we want to scale to a certain aspect, we might want to use AI for, SOPs, or we might want to look at it we might look at AI as something that could provide some type of notification system for our drivers or our carriers that we work with, follow up system, whether it be on the marketing side or the sales side or even the internal back office side of things. Okay. So, like I said, that it's something that we can definitely look into, and this is data that is free. It's out there. By law, they have to put this stuff out, but it's a great way of finding the big players in your space, whichever business or industry that you're in, and taking that type of information and seeing how you can um, use it to help streamline and boost your business. Therefore, uh, able to increase revenue, able to increase EBITDA in a long scale, on the long scheme of things. Okay, so again, my name is Cozy. I just wanted to give you like a cheat code, if you will, and I hope that you found a good amount of value in this. I try to shorten this down, but I'm just so excited about this type of thing, and I hope you found value into it. And I'll see you soon.